Hey scrappy friends, it's Audrey. Today I have another page for Confessions of a Paper Addict design team, and I am using this adorable cut file called Feelin' Froggy. I have a picture that's going to go perfectly with this cut file. I just thought this frog was so cute. It's going to be easy to back because not a ton of details, but still has some cute features. So I'll open the cut file in Silhouette Studio. I traced it. I'm going to draw a rectangle that's the size of my photo. My photo is 3x4. I just used the grid lines right on the mat to kind of draw an appropriately sized rectangle that matches my photo. And that helps me size my cut file so that I don't cut my cut file too big or too small. There is my cute photo. Now, it's not a frog, it's a toad, but many people can't tell the difference between a frog and a toad, so this will work out just fine. So that I like to design my pages in Silhouette Studio ahead of time to help me, again, just gauge the size of my cut files. I often have to take into consideration, though, that I do mat my photos, so that sometimes adds a little more size to the photos. So if you do mat your photos, you want to take that into consideration as well. So I have gone through my recent Hip Kit Club kits. They are piling up. I have not been scrapping as much lately. So again, I have a lot of supplies piling up. I had a lot of supplies piling up before COVID hit, so I need to get in and break out some of these supplies. But it's just a couple of kits combined. I'm speeding this up really fast because it did take me a little while to back this file. But you can see I didn't add in the details with the eyes and the mouth yet for the frog. I will go back and add that in later because I was thinking about if I wanted to add any colors in for the eyes and the mouth on the frog. But again, very simple backing technique. I put glue on the back of the cut file, I put it on the pattern paper, and then once it dries a little bit, I cut it out. That's it. So I have added some gesso here to my background paper, and I really wanted the green to stand out in my cut file, and so I decided to use its complementary color, which is, well, orange is not green's complementary color, but where is it? Red, orange, yellow. No, that's red. But the orange will really make the green pop, and the background paper, by the way, has a tiny bit of orange in it, kind of this coral kind of orangey color. But I've put this first batch of orange on. I literally said out loud, "Whoa, that's really orange. That's really bright." So I went back through with this more kind of coral color. I show you the colors there. I think one is called Marmalade. One is called Coral, and the other one's Amber or something. I can't remember. But I do love how the color eventually comes out here. So yeah, I had to tone down that orange a little bit because it was a little too orange. But I like how this looks. It actually dries lighter, a lot lighter too than it looked as well. So this is one of my favorite colors, this citron green. I love it. I love it. I love it for every season. I love it for every holiday. I love it for every page. It goes with so many colors. Just a few sprinkles of that in the background. It kind of matches the colors of the frog's eyes. Okay, so this ephemera pack is a Vicky Boutin pack. The cuts in this pack are quite large. It's kind of hard to use a lot of them on a page. I wish there was a bigger range of sizes in these packs, but I do love the designs of these so much. So I'm going to play around with some of these leaves here. I pulled out a butterfly. I wasn't going to put a flower in here, but I really love that flower with the teal center. And again, teal wasn't a color that I had planned on pulling in, but I loved the way that the teal looked with the orange. And then the butterfly that I pulled out has the same kind of background pattern as that flower. So because I pulled in some of that teal, I decided to mat my photo. It's not in a teal, but it's kind of like a minty blue color. And I'm going to add that in. This little black piece of leaf die cut, I only had one of those, so I wanted to balance out the black in the background, the black contrasting leaves. So I cut a tiny piece off of the bigger die cut, and I just have a little bit sticking out from the bottom left. So my piece of advice for this layout is, well, not just this layout, but anytime you're scrapping, is don't be afraid to cut up your die cuts and, cut out the pieces that are going to be hidden and use them in different areas. Okay, so now is the time to start embellishing. I mean, I've got the major elements here. I've got my frog and my mixed meat in the background. I'm deciding if I want to add another contrasting color, which is, well, not contrasting, but another, what's the word I'm looking for? Shade? Tone? Of this, I guess, tone of the orange. So I add in some elements that are really bold and orange here. A little phrase sticker on the frog, a tag behind my photo, a glittery heart on the bottom flower, and a little cute little orangey red ladybug. I'll bring in some more teal with a little arrow pointing to the toad. And some glittery flowers. I love these Amy Tan foam stickers. They're much smaller. Great size, I think. I use some of the foam flowers stuck on the background there. I pull out this journaling card. I like the colors. It matches my theme and the colors I already have going, but I end up taking it off. I don't really like the placement of it, and I don't want it takes up like a big white, not a big white area, but I don't know, it just takes away from the background a little bit, so I'm going to take that back off. I will go through, putting these enamel dots on kind of reminded me of like spots on toads, kind of these shiny bumps, so I thought enamel dots were perfect to go along with that theme. So I was going through my stash looking for letters for a title, and I found this, actually I don't even know what line these went with, but these phrase stickers, they were from an old Hip Kit Club kit. And the greens were perfect. So I had a different idea for a title in mind. I definitely wanted to use something that said Toadally. So I just decided to make my title Totally Good Time. These small letters, the small green letters, I think are Pink Fresh Studio. I had a brain fart for a minute, and I'm not even sure if I did spell totally right. I mean, it's Toad, but should it have been Toadally or just one L? I don't know. So I put 2 in there. It's fine, I guess. My kids will still read it as intended. I added a couple yellow enamel dots as well. And I decided to start gluing things down because I like how this looks. You'll see me every now and then. I keep taking tiny strips of paper and adding them to the top border, to the bottom border, just to see, you know, sometimes adding a little tiny strip of a torn pattern paper or piece of washi tape along an empty edge can kind of tie the page in together, but I end up not adding anything to the top or bottom borders because I think, you know, I think there's enough here. So I often have a problem when I use things that are stickers that are self-adhesive, having them stick to a background that I have gessoed or added mixed media to. They never really stick well, so I have to go through and glue down everything, even if it feels like it has a very sticky background. Like, so the good times letters I had to stick down, I have to go back through and have to do every single one of those Toadally letters individually as well. The enamel dots, though, for some reason seem fine. I don't know, and the foam stickers are fine too. So I don't know what it is. If it's a particular company or material, I'm not sure. So I'm going to add a little piece of twine to my tag. I decided to cut the bottom off the tag. I was going to have the tag pull out put my journaling on the back, but you know, I like the idea of hidden journaling, but in all reality, I rarely go back and pull out the layout out of the page and read the journaling if it's hidden. So I like to have the journaling exposed because unless I have a super long thing to write, so I'm going to try to just put the journaling on the front of my page. Okay, so now I'm going to add in the last little details of the froggy here. And these are his eyes, or her eyes. I don't know if it's a boy or girl frog. I considered doing the outline of the frog like in green with green paper or going back over it in watercolor, but I decided to leave the outline of the frog white because the outlines of the die cuts were white, so I felt that made it more cohesive. I backed her little tongue, And I'm going to color in the eyes just with my Sharpie instead of going through and trying to back it with, you know, black pattern paper. I'm just going to color it in with my pen. And then I outline the lips. I kind of went a little crooked on the tongue, which drives me crazy. You'll see it in the close-up, and I mean, you probably wouldn't notice it if you're just looking at the page, but oh well. I'm using some foam to back up the last little bit of the frog there. So I just go back, I do add a date and my journaling underneath the title, and there it is. So how cute is this cut file? I love it. I love it. I love it. We catch frogs and toads all the time, so I will probably be using this cut file in some capacity again. I'm sure my daughter is going to want a page with this cut file with her with a frog too. So there's some details, the mixed media, the twine, the foam stickers, the die cuts, lots of fun stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Be sure to go to the Confessions of a Paper Addict store and check out the cut files. Stay scrappy, friends.